Good morning everyone. Welcome for this session. So today we are going to learn about heat. I hope you enjoyed the last introduction session. Okay. So today this is the quite introduction also, and we are going to relate this point with our lesson fiber to fabric. Okay. So this is also I will call introduction session. Okay, so yesterday we have learned about what is meant by heat. Okay, what is the heat? Heat is a type of energy. Okay, energy cannot be created, cannot destroy. We cannot create energy, not destroy. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed. So what do we use? How do we use energy? Energy is only converted into one form into another form. Okay, so I gave many examples yesterday. How do we change electricity or into light energy, electricity into wind energy? Okay, so there are many forms of energy that we can convert into one form to another form. Okay, what is the ultimate source of energy? If you find out the sun is the ultimate source of energy, how does the sun energy completely flow into the universe in our solar system? Okay, I give example just like sun's energy, heat energy absorbed by the plants eaten by the herbivores, that energy is transferred into herbivores ate by carnivores, that is transferred there. When the decomposes to the mix into the soil again as a nutrient, plants take that energy. So sun is the ultimate source of energy. Whatever the energy we are using, whether it is nuclear energy, whether it is thermal power, okay, any form of energy, if you are using petrol, diesel, that is also the form of energy. Okay, whatever the energy stored in that petrol, diesel, we are using that energy. That energy is converting into one form to another form. So the main fact of about energy that we need to learn, energy neither be created nor destroyed. No one can create energy. Okay, if I said that I can create energy, it is impossible task. Still no one is able to do that. Okay, energy neither be created, I cannot destroy the energy also. Energy is turned into or energy converted into one form to another form. Okay, so heat is a form of energy. Okay, so how does we can relate this heat into our last lesson? See, whatever the clothes we are using, what if I wear sweater in summer season? What will be the people's reaction? People reaction that he's gonna mad. He don't know how to wear the clothes. Okay, black shirt. I wore a black shirt, very dark color shirt or black shirt, and I'm walking in the sun. What people will say? He's gonna mad, black shirt, and in this situation, in summer season, ridiculous. Okay, if I'm using a very light colors clothes in winter season and there is a snowfall, what people will say? Okay, now there is a relation with the heat of these clothes also. Okay, see the warm clothes, mostly we use warm clothes in winter season. What happens to our body? Okay, whatever the heat absorbs in our, whatever the heat present in our body, okay, it is trapped by our clothes. Okay, there is no connection from our inner atmosphere to outside. Okay, whatever the cold is, so we can keep our body cool. Okay, so we use warm clothes in winter season, but what about in summer season? Summer season already there is a lot of heat. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to keep our body cool and we need to absorb the sweat from our body. If we will not absorb the sweat from our body, what will happen? We may cause the itching and other problems. Okay, how could we face these problems? Okay, there is a reason, there is a way that we can face this problem. We should use light colored cotton clothes in summer season. Okay, now what is the reason? What is the relation between heat and light colored cotton clothes? Yes, there is a reason. Okay, see now here, conductor of heat, absorption of heat. If we use a dark color clothes, dark color clothes are good conductor of heat. Suppose black shirt is the best conductor of heat. I wore a black shirt and I'm standing. That means that black color is absorbing heat. If the shirt is absorbing the heat, that means it is getting hot. Once it is getting hot, that means shirt is getting hot, means my body also affected by that heat. So they are the good conductor of heat. Dark colors are good conductor of heat, and that if they collect a huge amount of heat, that may affect on our body. So that's why we never wear dark color clothes in summer season. We mostly prefer the light colors. Now why we wear the light color? First thing, that light color does not absorb heat as compared to dark colors. Okay, they helps to rotate the air through our body. So both clothes are cotton clothes, whether it is black or hot. But there is a lot of heat if you use the dark color cotton clothes. If we use a light color cotton clothes, the heat is not absorbed as much. It will in a very less amount. If it absorbs also, it will absorb in a very less amount. Okay, that's why we mostly prefer light color cotton clothes. Cotton clothes. Why we use cotton clothes? Because cotton clothes, whatever the sweat released by our body, it's completely absorbed by the cotton clothes, and it easily dried. Okay, so that's why we use these type of fabrics according to season, according to temperature we use. Okay, now let's move towards the another point, hot and cold object. Okay, see, in winter season, whenever we go for a bath, suppose I need a bucket of water for bathing. Do I boil all bucket of water? No. Okay. I will add 3 to 4 tumbler of hot water into whole bucket. That 3 to 4 tumbler hot water can turn all that bucket into warm water. Means what is happening? See, there is a process that is called transfer of heat. Suppose this is the tumbler, it is bucket, sorry. Okay. Okay, I wanted to bath it. Okay, there is a tumbler. Hot water. This is cold water. Hot water and cold water. This one is completely hot. Okay. Hot and cold. Correct? What I did? Added this water. That 2 tumbler of hot water added into cold water. Now that cold water turned into warm water. How does it is turned? Because only 2 tumbler I have added. What about the other water? Okay. See, yesterday I told you a simple diagram. I told you that if the candle is kept at one place, okay, candle is burning, and this is the iron rod. Candle is burning this point, but after a while we can observe that this end is also getting hotter. Why? Because the heat is transferring from hotter region to colder region. The heat transfer from hotter region to colder region. Remember one thing, again I am repeating, the heat transfer from hotter region to colder region. The same thing happens. This is the hot water, this is the cold water. When it enters in this tumbler, the heat is releasing, mixing into all water. So heat transfer from hot water to cold water and turns this water as a warm water. Best example, in winter season, if you want to bath, take a, what we do, we takes a bucket and add 2 to 3 drop, 2 to 3 tumbler of hot water and we bath it. That means that heat present in the 3 tumbler is transferred into whole bucket. The heat present in the 2 to 3 tumbler converted that whole water warm. Because of that, heat transfer from hotter region to colder region, or hot substance to cold. Understood? So that is called the transfer of heat. Okay. Okay, what do we call? We call it transfer of heat. Okay, how does the heat transfer? Heat transfer from hotter region to colder region. Always the transfer of heat occurs from hotter to colder region. Okay, this is the truth, universal truth. Everywhere we can see heat never transfers from colder to hotter. It always transfers from hotter region to colder region. Heat transfers from hotter region to colder region. Understood? Okay, next we are going to find out the term temperature. Okay, there are the 3 buckets. In all buckets there is a water. I put water, my hand into that first bucket. I feel little bit hot. Second, I feel very cold, icy cold it was. Fourth one, okay, it was quite hot. Fourth one, I am unable to put my finger. Okay, from outside only we can feel, oh, it is too much hot. I will not put my hand into it. Okay, so hot and cold, somewhat hot, okay, somewhat cold, okay, too much cold, too much hot. These concepts we are using. Okay, first bucket, somewhat hot. Second, too much cold, icy cold. Third bucket, somewhat hot, little bit more hot. And fourth bucket, too much hot, I am unable to put my hand. So these are the 4 different places where we can, okay, notify that it is hot and cold, somewhat cold, more hot, more cold. But what if we need to find out the exact hotness and coldness? How hot it is, how cold it is. Okay. In every lecture of science, there is one sentence that I always repeat. Okay. Necessity is the mother of invention. Necessity is the mother of invention. Means what? Suppose we are feeling something necessary, we invent it. We need something to write, we have invented a pen. Okay, we need to write on something, we invented board, notebook. Okay, like the same, at that point, 4 different buckets, 4 different temperature, hotness and coldness. But if you want to find out how hot and how cold it is, if you want to find exact hotness and coldness, what will you do? What exactly the thing we do? At that time, scientists invented thermometer. Okay, they need to find out the exact temperature, how hot it is, how cold it is. Okay, is it too much hot? Is it too much cold? It is little bit warm. It's too much warm. If they need to find out the temperature, temperature is the reliable measure to find out hotness and coldness of substance. Okay, that already I have explained in last lecture also. What is temperature? Temperature is a reliable method or reliable measure that to find out the how the substance or how much the substance is hot and cold. Okay. What if there is no measure of temperature? Okay. If there is no measure of temperature, we are unable to find out, okay, how hot and how cold it is. Okay. Mostly in the left side of newspaper, in summer season, we will find out temperature 44 degrees Celsius. Summer season 46 degrees Celsius, 47 degrees Celsius. Okay. We could not get the exact temperature of our place where we are living. Okay. If there is no reliable measure called temperature. Okay. So temperature, invention of temperature has very important. It proved that point is very necessary for it. If you are unaware about the temperature where in which we are living, we cannot take the proper measures. Okay. Same happens with the cold. Okay. If there is too much cold, okay. See, there are the few regions in India, in Kashmir. Okay. The glaciers. Okay. The places where it's too much cold. Okay. Siachen. Okay. Where there are soldiers are living. Okay. -0 degrees Celsius, -10, -20, -30, -40. Okay, what is 40? We lived in 40, 45, 40 degrees Celsius. They lived in a -45, 46 degrees Celsius. So these difference, okay, hotness and coldness, okay, it measured by the very reliable measure that is called temperature. That is with the help of temperature. Okay, and the device which is invented to measure the temperature is called thermometer. The device which is invented to measure the temperature is called thermometer. Okay, now here also thermometers are divided into two different types according to its use. Okay, as I told you, necessity is mother of invention. How we use it? Okay, what are the things do we need to use it? Whenever it comes to the end of using, at that time we need to sort out it. Okay, see, there are the few things that I wanted to mention. Two different pens are there, gel pen and ball pen. Okay, both are the pens only. Okay, but they are divided into two different categories because they are made up of different materials. They have different purpose also. Okay, the same thing. Thermometer is the same, but thermometer is divided into two different categories according to its use. First one is clinical thermometer and second one is laboratory thermometer. Okay, both have limitations. Okay, both means we can say clinical thermometer have limitations because according to its use, clinical thermometer have limitation. Mostly it is used to measure the body temperature. In clinics, in hospitals, to measure the temperature of human beings, or any veterinary will use to measure the temperature of any animal. So there is a limitation for clinical thermometer. But what about laboratory thermometer? As I told you that when there is a concern about -46 degrees Celsius to +46, 47 degrees Celsius, at that time they are the different purpose of using the thermometers, and that is used as a clinical thermometer have limitation, but the laboratory thermometer have no limitation. We can use it in very different forms. Like there is no limitation. We can use a -40, 46, +66, 78. Okay, so laboratory thermometer is used in the laboratories to take the different measures. Okay, so temperature and thermometer. Got it? So these things we should learn it properly. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this introduction session too. Tomorrow we are going to learn about the two different types of thermometer: chemical thermometer and clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Thank you and have a nice day. That's it for today. Thank you.